Hello. How are you guys? So I hope that we don't have a problem. Internet has been horrible. I think there's too many tourists out here. They take my internet and I want them to go away. So I have a lot of people that just come here for holidays and whatnot. So it's sometimes, hi Joel. How's Alaska? Is it cold? Everyone says that probably, huh? Anyway, so everybody takes my internet. So I have you on my phone, no internet. So we'll see if maybe that's people leave. You hate Alaska? Oh no. I don't mind because my house is kind of private, but yeah, there's people parked up and down the roads here, and it's just crazy. So anyway, I like them when they're eating at the restaurant though. Let's be honest, okay? So I'll take their money. That's okay. Hi, Frasier. How are you? All right, we're going to talk about sweeteners. So I have lots and lots of people in my inbox asking you about different sweeteners and how you do it, and which one you recommend. And I've actually done this live before. So I keep a journal book, which is all my lives, my keto couches, which is on Sundays. You guys all know. Hi, Candy. Hi, Faye. That I do what's called Keto Couch. Every single, I'm good, Frasier. Every single Sunday we do Keto Couch. So it's just some kind of information, motivation, whatever you guys want to talk about is usually what we talk about. So I always recommend that you share, especially to keto groups, and put it on your own page, because I'm always going to try to give you some kind of value that you may want to go back and watch. So I sent out a text, and I'm hoping you all got that. If you want to be on the text line, let me know. If you didn't get it and you're supposed to be getting it, let me know that as well, because again, with the internet, sometimes it gets messed up, and I just want to make sure that everybody's getting it. Yeah, I put pink over it so it's not so bright. And I got a new sundress on today, just special, because I think you guys get sick of seeing my same old sundress. I only have a few items that I wear when I get home from work. It's sweats and a sweatshirt, or my favorite sundress. So I was looking at old lives the other day, and I was like, oh my gosh, I wear the same clothes. So I need to mix it up a little bit for you guys, because you might get bored with that. I mix up the aprons once in a while, so that helps. But anyway, so in this book has all the lives that I do, and this one was one that I did, and I've had a lot of requests for it lately. And as you know, it like changes. I get more followers, I get new friends, and so I want to keep everybody. So if you've already seen it, I appreciate you watching it again, and maybe you'll hear something that you didn't hear before. But I do recommend that you share the video out, because there's going to be a lot of value understanding how sweeteners are done and whatnot. So let's get started with that. Also, this is not anything to do with sweeteners, but I want to move my videos from Facebook. I'm going to still do them on Facebook all the time, but I want to move them once I do them onto YouTube. Does anybody know how to do that? Anybody who's computer savvy, and what's the easiest way for someone who's not super, I can get by, but I'm not an 18-year-old, which I have an 18-year-old that works for me, and she's leaving to go to college, and I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'll figure it out. So I just want to, I have a couple friends that aren't on Facebook, more than a couple, and so they want to watch my videos, but they can't. So I thought, well, maybe a YouTube. And then I can just store them all there. People can go there and watch them if they're not on Facebook, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, that's a whole different topic, but if you know somebody, or you're savvy with YouTube, let me know. Get in my inbox and send me a nice message and help me, please. Thank you. All right, so let's start with this highly recommended live that I've done once before, but instead of bringing that one back, I thought I'd just do it again. So we're going to go over all the different kinds of sugars. which ones are good, which ones are not good, how they're made, how they're done, all of that, so you can kind of understand the dynamic of the sugars, okay? So even if you're keto or not keto, this is just knowledge to know for being out there. Even low carb people should know this, okay? So tell me what you guys think. I'd love some interaction on this one. What is your go-to for your sweetener if you're low carb? Tell me if you're low carb or keto first, and then what your go-to is for your sweetener that you would use excuse me, in your coffee or in your cooking or whatever it is, okay? So the 4 types. The first one is natural. The second one is artificial. The third is processed. And the fourth is sugar alcohol. So out of those, which do you think is the bad ones? So let me know what you think, okay? Monk fruit, my ultimate favorite. So let's start with the first one that I named, which was natural. And I have my notes here, so I'm going to be reading off those a little bit because with a topic like this, I don't like to get anything wrong. And I don't like to just, I can talk to you about what I've learned. But since I put it all on paper, I kind of like to read it. So please excuse me if I'm looking down at my notes. But that way you guys are getting the right, the right information, okay? Kind of important. Anyway, so natural sugars or sweeteners are made from edible plants. And these are the most safe. These are the ones that, especially on keto, that you're going to want to be using. Stevia, monk fruit, those types are what I'm talking about. But you want to, when you put in, when you're looking for a sweetener, you want to put plant-based. And a lot of people don't even understand that that's a thing, So they think, well, I can't use cane sugar. I can't use real sugar, if you will. So I'm going to use this sweet and low. So you want to use plant-based sugar and sweetener, not even sugar. The sugar is probably the wrong word. So plant-based sweetener, okay? So they get all of their flavor from the natural plant of the sweetener. They are way, way sweeter than our normal sugar. So 200 to 300 times sweeter. So that's why, yes, monk fruit's expensive, but it's going to last you so much longer. You only need a little bit. Like that cobbler I made yesterday, which was hands down the best dessert I've made so far since I've been on keto. And I've made a lot of things. You guys know this. Hands down the best. And I put 2 tablespoons of sweetener in it, and that's it. So it is just, the berries, of course, are sweet on their own, but definitely you need just a little bit. That's why it lasts for so much longer. So yes, you pay a little bit more, but it's all in moderation, you guys. I have a lot of people who say keto's too expensive, but it really is not. Yeah, the products might be expensive, but is it really too expensive? No, because these things are lasting you forever, okay? Maybe not forever. That's pretty dramatic. I tend to be dramatic once in a while. So are you guys finding value? Are you giving me some feedback? I asked for some feedback. Are you keto? Are you low carb? What's your favorite sweetener? Are you finding value? Are you sharing this video? Let me know when you share it so I can say thank you because I appreciate it so much. We have to teach people. People don't have any idea of these things that I'm telling you guys. I swear it. I talk to people in the restaurant every day, and it amazes me how people just don't know. So that's kind of my goal in life. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. Lori, did I see you? I think I did. Hi, Lori. It's late for you, girl. What time is it? 6, 7, 8, 9. Woo. Go, girl. All right. So low carb, not processed like sugar, keto safe. Natural sugars or natural sweeteners. I keep saying sugars, but it's really sweeteners that we're talking about, not sugar. Okay? So, sugar alcohols. So when I say sugar alcohols, that's super scary, right? So it automatically makes you think, oh my gosh, That can't be good for you. That's at least what I heard when I heard sugar alcohols. Well, that can't be good, but it really is okay, because how it's made is why they name it that, how the sugar is actually made. So it sounds really bad and scary. It's created through a fermentation process using like sugar. So like using like how they make beer. Exactly the same way. I was trying to figure of an easy way to explain it, but it just ferments it. So then you get your sweetener out of it. So it's a natural process. So when we are trying to find the right kind of sweeteners, we, number one, want a plant-based. If you can't, using vodka. If you can't find a natural-based or a plant-based, however you want to use that term, then the next best thing is a sugar alcohol. Excuse me. It's not bad for you. There isn't alcohol in it, so you aren't going to get, sometimes the name is confusing and you think, oh, it's alcohol. No, that's just how it's processed. And this is a safe way to process. So a lot of times sweeteners like Sweet and Low and what am I trying to say? The yellow one. Those are not, they're processed in a bad way. Okay. So the only thing with sugar alcohols is they can give you upset stomach and gas. And I know this from experience. And what I'm talking about is sugar-free candy. So, I thought, well, I can have sugar-free candy, sugar-free. It's made with stevia. Okay. And sugar alcohol's in it. No big deal. Perfect. So I buy like every bag they have, every brand. I want to try them all, figure out which ones I like. So I'm trying them. And I will always tell you guys, in moderation, right? So everything's in moderation. Well, this day I wasn't in moderation. And I had a piece of this, piece of this, piece of this. My stomach was so upset, and I had horrible gas, like pains in my stomach. That's how bad it was. How much can you use sweet alcohol? So you just have to check your carb count with that, and check your ingredients with that. So I would say very, very, you want to limit it because of what I'm explaining, how it affected my stomach. And horrible gas and gas pains. Like, it just felt like my guts were just, a lot of times when I eat carbs, it does the same thing to me, just really, really tight and not good. So out went the candy. It all went to the restaurant. I have a customer that loves it. He's 70 some years old and he's diabetic, so he eats the sugar-free candy. So I brought him this big bag, said, here you go. He's like, are you serious? And I'm like, yep. He goes, let me pay. And I'm like, no, get it out of my house. I don't want it. So the only one that I do buy is, they have one that's toffee. And I just have it in the cupboard in case I want a little something. But in moderation, like I have maybe one every couple weeks. And that's the extent of mine. So I'm not a huge fan of sugar alcohol because of how it affects my body. And it says right on there that it may cause bloating and stomach pains. And for me, 100%. So it is safe though for a sweetener. So that you just have to, pick your, so like with monk fruit or stevia for me, no, nothing. I'm totally fine with it. So those are the ones that I choose. Okay. So let me see here. It's found in fruits and vegetables. They ferment it. This one is good because the sugar alcohols doesn't waver your insulin or your blood sugar. So it's really good for especially diabetics and that kind of thing. So that's one that if you have those problems, sugar alcohols are okay. As long as you don't get a stomach ache and you overdo it, and that's the stomach ache, okay? Studies found that they have antioxidants which improve blood vessel function and type 2 diabetes. Hi, Beverly. I'm glad you're here. So we're sharing the video. We're talking about sweeteners. You missed a little bit in the beginning. You may have to go back. But it'll upload and then you can just go back and watch it from the beginning. So I appreciate you coming on and watching. So the next one is artificial sweeteners. So these are the ones that are scary and no good. And why they're no good is because they're synthetically made. They're they're a poison, but they're chemically based processed sweetener. So they don't have anything natural in them. They're not a plant-based. They're not an alcohol-based. They are totally synthetic. So these are the ones that are sucralose, aspartame. They're in a lot of products. They do horrible things to us. So you want to stay away from any kind of artificial sweeteners. Just stay away from them. Sodas, diet sodas, those kind of thing. I did a live the other day on root beer floats, and I use diet root beer. And I know a lot of people don't drink it, and I don't drink it very often, but I will have a diet soda on occasion, definitely. But, you have to pick your battles. I have to still live, right? And I have to have a root beer float once in a while. So, some people say, well, you might as well just eat regular sugar. So it's really just picking your battles, because I, of course, don't agree with regular sugar at all. It is the problem of all of us. That's the issue. But then you have this chemically based substitute. So, you really have to pick your battles, okay? So what they do is they stimulate your appetite, which is amazing to me. So you're drinking a diet soda, which stimulates your appetite. So these sweeteners may make you hungry, and we don't want that, of course. May negatively affect gut health and promote obesity and diabetes. So here are these artificial sweeteners, which you're supposed to be using so that you're not using real sugar, and they're telling us that it's better than using sugar. And they, I'm on a diet, I'm going to use Sweet and Low in my tea. Well, it's going to promote inflammation, and it's going to promote bad guts and obesity. It just is crazy to me that this artificial sweetener that is supposed to be to help you is really doing the very opposite. So please, please, please stay away from artificial sweeteners. Causes inflammation in areas of the brain. They are linked to causing cancer. And of course, I'm not a doctor, so I can't really say that. But in my studies, that's what I found. And so you want to be very, very careful with any artificial sweeteners. Stick with your monk fruit, your stevia, your plant-based natural sweeteners, or your sugar alcohols. Those are your best bets, okay? So processed sugar. So these are also the ones that are like fructose. They're not natural. They turn into stored I always say this word wrong, glycogen. That causes stored inflammation. Sugar crashes, you're tired, you're hankry, you're crabby withdrawals. So they actually cause withdrawal in your body. And so then you crave more sugar. It's just crazy. These things that are supposed to be helping us. So one of the things that I recommend is always fasting. So what happens when you fast, your body gets rid of all that stuff. And so I recommend, I do a 60-hour fast every other month. I have a lot of friends that do it every month, but even just fasting through the night. So you stop eating your dinner at 6 or 7, and then you don't eat again until, let's say, 11. So you have that big window where you don't have anything in your system, and your body is using up and getting rid of all that stored, because it stores all this stuff, right? It stores it as inflammation, and it stores it as, it just stores it in your body. And so if you fast, it cleans it out. So I really recommend, and I can do a whole live on intermittent fasting as well, which I've done before, but I would be happy to do it again because it's so good for us. So I definitely recommend that. So you're going to want to watch when you're looking at, and I put a post up this morning about all the different names for sugars, but anything that ends in OSE is pretty much guaranteed that it's a not natural form of sugar. So you want to just stay away from that. When I have trained in the past about looking at ingredients versus carb count, That is so much more important. So looking at what's in those little fine print more than just reading the numbers, because that little fine print tells you what exactly is in it. So there could be hidden sugars in there that you're just looking at the carb count. The carb count's good, let's go. And no, that's not. So look at that, okay? And making sure that that is the most important thing to you. And how many hidden names there are for sugar. One of the lady, Deb, she's on here right now. She put a list of actually 61, and I have a list of 56. So there's lots of different names that you can take that right to the store with you, save it on your phone, whatever you want to do. That's on that post on my page. And so that when you're out at the store and you're not quite sure what, so if you don't know what the ingredients are, there's probably a good chance it's probably not good for you. So when you're reading that little ingredients list, you can have that sugar, all the different names for sugar right there with you, and you can look. And if it has sugar, then you don't want it. Just get rid of it. There is a substitute for it in the healthy way. Okay, I've pretty much been able to make every single thing that you guys has asked for in a keto friendly way, low carb friendly way, whatever. But you can definitely find a different way to do it. And with monk fruit and that kind of stuff out there, stevia, you don't need any other kind, you guys. That works great. I just try to stay away from all sugar. Exactly. It's exactly the way to do it. And I think that using monk fruit and stevia is not a sugar. So it really just helps enhance maybe whatever you're, so like the cobbler. Yeah, I could have not put that in there and it would have just been all natural sweeteners from the berries, but it just made that just that much nicer. And oh my gosh, you guys, it was so delicious. Don't get me started on it because it's gone, of course. So the ingredients is so much more important, and that's it. That's all I got. So, the other thing that I want to hit on with this sweeteners is not believing the word organic, okay? Because they say it's organic, and all of a sudden people think that that's safe. And so organic doesn't always mean safe, okay? Organic can mean okay for you, but it doesn't mean that it isn't some kind processed things are in there. So please make sure you're not just seeing that it says organic and you're turning it around and the carb count's good, so you're just going to go. No, read those fine prints and make sure, because organic doesn't mean that it doesn't have sugar. It doesn't mean that, you guys. It just means it's the way it was made or processed, okay? The longer you do keto, the less you miss sugars, for sure. So you become what's called fat adapt. So when I coach somebody, I tell them for the first month, no cheating, because of the fact that you have to get no honey, no agave. Yes, they're natural, but they're full of sugar. So that's not a natural. It's natural, but it's not a healthy. Okay. I don't know that brand, Candy. Pruvia. I'll have to look that up. I'll look it up. It's probably on that list if it's no good. Deb, do you know that brand? Huh. So I don't know it. That doesn't necessarily mean anything because I'm not like the master of all. But I like to think I am, but it's not true. But if I haven't heard of it, it probably isn't okay. Because I have everything. My cover is full of everything that's okay. You don't know. Okay, I'll look it up, Candy, and I'll send you a message. Or I'll actually put it in here, the answer, so that anyone else looking at this will know. I'm spelling it wrong. Oh, Truvia. Yeah, Truvia is okay. Right, Bonnie? It's good. Purple, white bag. So I think you put a P instead of a T. And I'm pretty sure it's okay. Right, Bonnie? Bonnie, now, on the other hand, is amazing. She's my friend, been my keto buddy for quite a while now, and she knows a lot. So it helps me have great friends like you guys. It keeps me keeps me educated. I have so many messages in my inbox right now, and I apologize. Anybody who's watching this video that has sent me a message and I haven't returned it, that is my goal this evening, is to return all messages. So I'm so sorry, but I worked all day, and then I set this goal to go 31 days live. So when I get home, I am like, okay, I'm going to my office, I'm going to do this, and then I'll go up and return messages. So I'm sorry if I haven't done that. Yes, it's keto. Okay, cool. That's what I thought. Thank you, Bonnie. I appreciate it. All right, you guys. I think I hit everything. Is there anybody have questions? No, Splenda is bad. All bad. It's processed. No. Stevia, monk fruit. We just figured out that Truvia is okay. Those are the 3. Sugar alcohols are okay, but they may give you a stomach ache and gas. Horrible gas. And I'm speaking from experience. Oh boy, I'm telling you all about my gas. All right, anyway, is there anything else? Do you guys have any other questions before we get off here? No worries. You need your time to you, and you are welcome. I love and appreciate you so, so much, Bonnie. You don't even know, girl. Yes, I need my time to myself once in a while, but I hate for people to sit and wait for me to answer a question, but sometimes I get so many messages. So anyway, so we're down. It's day 7. And Splenda brand has a stevia. Yeah, I know, but gosh, I don't know. That's, to me, Splenda is just all bad, so I just stay away from it. And but if you can find one that says it's stevia and you look at the ingredient and it's okay, then go for it. But that is not just plain Splenda for sure. Okay. So tomorrow I will come live, and then I'll cook the rest of the week. I have some good recipes picked out, but I love input. So if you found some value in this sweetener video, number 1, share it out so we can share it to the world. I just don't want to be just little. I want to go with the world, okay? And then drop me a 10 and tell me that you found value, because I always like to know that what I'm saying and how I'm doing it is helping somebody. And that's my goal. I started I started keto January of 18 and have been very successful and learned a lot. And then January of this year, I decided that I wanted to share and get out there and teach as many people as I can. Yeah, if it's stevia only, you are good. Yes, I agree. Thank you, Candy. I'm glad you found some value. Definitely. But I need help. I can't do it all myself. So I have to have people help me share, help me get out there, and help me teach. Okay? So I really appreciate you all for watching on your Sunday. And I'm going to go upstairs and relax for a little bit and then return some messages. I heard the big M word. What's the big M word? I don't know. You stumped me. All right. Love and appreciate you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.